Hi, Eric Fetaplace again, and I'm here to show you the Arca Plus Eclipse plugin. Um, I'm going to show you the final step, but before I already went through going over importing into Eclipse a legacy application. I just want to briefly touch on some things that we'll go over in another session, but the main purpose of this clip is going to be to show exporting an application for another platform. But just briefly, since importing it, I also didn't show in the first video importing phrases from the legacy platform, so I imported some phrases that were in the application. I also created some grammars as we define them here, just to show you quickly. Let's say, for example, the pin for collecting a pin from a caller, where we define something called pin grammar, and it's referring to there's a pin DTMF grammar file and a pin voice grxml file. The phrase enter pin here, we see that there's text associated with enter pin is the name of the phrase, and the text is enter your 4-digit pin. That's populated in this step here. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at that. We're saying it's using the pin grammar. The prompt is enter pin, and the results can be stored in the pin variable. Okay, so without getting too much into those details right now, let me just go ahead and show you what the export process looks like. It's fairly quick. We're going to export to VoiceObjects. We're going to export to my desktop folder. And it's done. So now I'm going to switch over into the VoiceObjects application, and let's see, I'm going to switch over into VoiceObjects, and we'll import the application into a VoiceObjects application. Okay, so now what we're going to do here is in VoiceObjects, I'm just going to go ahead and create a new project. And in this project, I'm going to do the old import. And this is the workflow that we just exported. And everything is created. So let's take a look. In the main entry, you start off. I'm going to be clicking through quickly here, so if you're not terribly familiar with VoiceObjects, sorry if I give you a whiplash. I'll give a little more room. So we have this main entry sequence. It's basically going to run into define all these sequences here sort of in the application and broke them out into useful, reusable sequences. So we have the start, the welcome step going into the login routine. You can see here it's collecting the account number, the PIN, hitting a database step, making a decision, going off to say the invalid counter. Actually, in this choice, if everything's okay, it'll go off to the main menu. So let's just take a quick look at, for example, in the PIN step, we see that there is the prompt has been created. Enter PIN, and the text is in there. Pardon me. Enter your 4-digit PIN. And of course, it's nice to set the audio resources, so if you need to control where your resources are located, it's good programming habit in VoiceObjects. It does that for you. So back to this flow here, selecting from the database, it creates the database, it populates the query, the database connection info, returning the result back into COS, making a decision. Let's see here, it goes off to the main menu if everything went okay. It's playing the main menu, saying goodbye when basically saying bye because there's no real place to go after that. Let's take one other look at this here. If there's invalid counter sequence, so it's going to increase the invalid counter and of course make a decision, should it play a warning or should it dump the caller. But what we did here is in evip there's about 200 expressions, and they're all fairly complicated. They can be nested, so we're going with using the JavaScript cell to, we have a routine, we have a whole library of all the functions, and this will put all the necessary functions into the script and then perform the evip tasks and actually execute them in JavaScript and get the results stored in parameters in your VoiceObjects application. Let's take another quick look through. So it basically creates everything you need, database steps, the scripts, the grammars, the audio. Let's take one look at the grammar. So the pin grammar that was used in the pin step here. It breaks up and it puts the information from the grammar in the Arc app into directly where it goes in here. Let's take a quick look at the main menu prompt. It also I don't think I didn't show you what it looked like in the Arca application, but it went ahead and did the text to grammar, added in end, which represents a 1, and in DTMF obviously 1 is a choice, so basically it populated the menu choices that in the grammar defined in Arca. So there it is, all nice and rebuilt in VoiceObjects and ready to go with ready for testing. And that's about all we have to show in here. So in the first video we showed how to import it into Arca, and then this video was showing you how to export it to a target platform, in this case a VoiceObjects platform, and you can see all the logic has been recreated.